Hello everyone and welcome to the reveal for my Cat-Walk TBR board for winter season. So, rules are going to be the same. So I still have my notebook and the rules are still, if I land on, like when I'm rolling the dice, if they pop out of the container twice or like one dice pops out because I roll it too hard, that's adding a prompt. I start out with 5 to get 5 prompts. If I get a double, I'm adding 1. If I get the same prompt twice in one game, that's adding 1. The same prompt 5 times overall, which for winter that's just a little bit different. Well, it's not different, but it's specific for each board individually. And then the same number square 5 times. The fall board had 30 squares, the winter board has 30 squares. So that number count as far as the number square will roll over to the following season. So there's always a chance the first game that I play for the winter season will end up with a punishment. So pretty much everything else is the same, other than the actual prompts themselves. So I will still roll, get a prompt, and then I will pick a color. And then I have to find a book that fits the prompt and the color. If I can't find a book that fits the prompt and the color, then they split. So I find a book that fits the prompt and that fits the color. If I can't find a book that fits one or the other, then it's a punishment read. I think I could end up with 4 books in that particular case, because if I don't have a book that'll fit the prompt, nor a book that will fit the color, then there would be a book that will take place of the prompt, a book that'll take place of the cover, the punishment book for not finding the color, and the punishment book for not finding the prompt. I have not had that happen, thank goodness, but we're still doing the colors. Other than that, the only difference are the prompts. So here's the board. This is for winter, so it's December, January, and February. So December, so I celebrate Christmas in December. My birthday is also in December. My birthday is December 15th. And then obviously Christmas is December 25th. So the first prompt for December is birthday for balloons. So what I'm doing is my choice, whatever the heck I want. Obviously I will still draw a color. So it's whatever I want that has that color on it, or I can split it and do a book that has that color and then whatever the heck I want. So whatever I want. Next, we have Christmas lights. So for Christmas lights, the prompt is to read a book that has a source of light on the cover, or a light source. Could be a light shining through a window, could be a flashlight, could be stars, could be the sun, could be the moon, could be haunted glowing eyes for a horror book. Who knows? But there has to be some source of light on the cover. Next, Christmas tree. And so this is to read a book that has a plant on the cover. Not a lot of books. I mean, I'm sure they'll have trees, but sometimes there'll be something else. I could go with a flower. I could go with a bush, something, who knows, but plant on the cover. Next prompt is gift. And this one is my TBR jar. So this is my to be read TBR jar. Now in this one, so the gift we'll pull from here, and it's a random generator. I have a couple of different random generators in here, so this could end up being any random generator, and then when I pull one, I'll just put it right back. So I could end up getting the same random generator a couple of different times. So let me show you what I've got. I just have a couple of pages here of papers. So I found today a random song generator. So if I get this, I'll do a random song and then pick a book that I think fits the title of the song, maybe has the artist's name. Like if I have who's real popular? Taylor Swift is really popular. If I have a song that comes up by Taylor Swift, I can find a book whose author is Taylor. Somehow, just some correlation. Okay, next one I have is, I found a random prompt generator. So I'll just spin the random prompt generator and then pick the book based off of the prompt from the random prompt generator. Another random generator is a random picture generator. It's the same, you've seen that one before. And then I just pick a book somehow tied to that picture. Color scheme or an item on the picture, something. Random letter. So if I get the random letter, let's say W comes up, then the title of the book has to start with a W. This is not including a and the or and. Can't be in there. Has to actually start with W. Has to be the first letter of the title, or the author's first name, last name, or maybe if they go by initials, like George R.R. Martin, maybe it's George W.W. Martin. That would count. Okay. Next one, I have a random color. This will be interesting if this one comes up. So there's a random color generator. Obviously, I'm still pulling from my postcards of colors, so the book will ultimately end up having to have 2 different colors on the cover. So that one will be interesting. Next is random word generator. You've seen that one before. Generate a word. Pick a book based on that word. One new one that you may end up seeing is a random emoji generator. So I did find a random emoji generator. That comes up, obviously. If I find like a gift, then I'll find a book that was either gifted to me or has something that I would like to receive as a gift, or just something that has to do with gift. But that's only if that emoji comes up. If it's poop, maybe it's an ugly cover. Who knows? So, yep. Okay, so that was for the gift prompt. This next one is these music notes, and that is caroling. This one is the random song generator. So there is a chance that certain generators could come up twice. The random song generator. So that's for December. Moving on to January, we have snow, and this is to read a book that has some kind of source of water on the cover, because snow is frozen water. So it goes from like water to snow to ice type of a thing. That's my thinking. So some source of water could be a cup of water. It could be like a drop condensation. Could be actually snow. But I didn't want to do just snow and restrict it that much. So it's just water, because that's what it's made out of. Next up, I have New Year. Now I was going to do start a series, but maybe I don't want to start a series. Maybe I want to continue a series. The way I figure is it's the start of a brand new year, so preferably start a series. However, I'm not going to restrict myself to just starting a brand new series. Each month, each year continues on. So I'm just something that has to do a series. So it cannot be a standalone. It has to be a part of a series. Next up, I have what do we do in January, or what is encouraged at the end of December to do to be ready for January 1st? Set goals. You know, everyone asks, what's your New Year's resolutions? So for goal setting, random word generator, because you got to use your words to set your goals if that's what you're going to do. Whether it's you want to lose weight, drink more water, move more, get more views on videos, you know, whatever your goal is. If you do that, you have to use your words to state your goals. So random word generator. Next is hot cocoa. Well, hot cocoa warms you from the inside out. So a book that gives you the warm fuzzies, or is cozy, a comfort read, something like that. So that is just a cozy book. However you want to interpret that, it's a cozy book. And then the last prompt for January is countdown, because it's the countdown to New Year's Eve. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay, Happy New Year. Woo! So for this one, I decided to make it a little bit more difficult, and it's going to be a book that has a time source on the cover. Could be a sundial, or maybe the title. I know there's a book called Sundial, so that would count because it's on the cover. The title is on the cover. So it could be an image, or maybe the author's last name is Watch. Claire Watch. Who knows? So something that has to do with time. So it could be a stopwatch. It could be the author's name, clock, watch, a sundial, a hourglass, something like that. So that has to actually be on the cover, whether it's an item or a word has to actually be on there. So if, let's say, for example, the series is there's a series called The Wheel of Time. So let's say there's a book that I want to read that's part of that series, but if the series title is not on the cover, then I cannot read that one for that prompt. That makes sense? The word has to physically be on the cover or an image. Okay. Next winter month is February. So what do we have in February? We have Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day is all about romance and love. So this is genre specific. And so if I land on Valentine's Day, it's to read a romance book. It can be any romance that I want, anything. As long as it's romance, then that's what we do. Next, this was a little tricky for me to figure out how to draw, so I just did a heart and a TV. But the big thing with February is to show your love for your partner or whoever. So you have, or there has been like a dating game shows and things like that, but show your love. You go into more things. You get chocolates, you get bouquets of flowers, a lot of people propose on Valentine's Day, go on bigger, fancier dates, things like that. So it's more of a show. So they're really showing their love, kind of showing it off, whatever. So I'm playing with the word show. So this one will be to draw a random BookTubers TBR game from my BookTube TBR jar. And then I will have to go with a prompt for a book for all of their prompts. So just as a reminder, not only will it be my 5 prompts, obviously not including any punishments that I get, but let's say I just do the 5 prompts. If they do 5 prompts, it's at least 5 books. I will still draw a color to go with theirs, and so I could end up with a huge TBR. It is not mandatory for me to read these. There's never any punishment for not completing my TBRs. This takes my hundreds and hundreds of unread books and condenses them down to, I don't know, let's say 50, even though that's like way shooting out there. Like if I ended up on maybe like 2 or 3 BookTuber games plus my game, I guess that's a possibility, but with a bunch of punishments. So, but it rains down the selection, so it's less overwhelming to try and pick a book. Because if I don't do the TBR game to narrow down the selection, I tend to get overwhelmed with the amount of selection with what I want to read. So it just narrows it down to a stack of possibilities is what I've started to call it. Okay, next up, what's one thing that I said that you get? You get a box of chocolates. A lot of people will present boxes of chocolates for Valentine's Day. So for this one, I'm going pretty simple. Chocolate is what? It's a food. So if I land on chocolates, is to find a book that has food on the cover. It can be anything. It could even be, I will even stretch it if there's not like a piece of toast or a bowl of spaghetti or a salad on the cover. I will even stretch it to include an animal because like a chicken, it's a food source, okay? So anyway, it's a pet, it's whatever it is, but if it's something that can be converted into an actual food source, even insects, people eat grasshoppers, that could be counted as a food source. But yeah, so a source of food on the cover. Well, what's the other big deal with Valentine's? That table with the candle is supposed to signify a date night, you and your significant other. So for date time, it is a book that has 2 or more people on the cover because, I mean, you're just going, it's considered a date when it's you plus someone else or someone else plus someone else. So 2 people on the cover is date time. So, and the last prompt for February is a bouquet of flowers. It just says bouquet on there. And this one is more specific. So like Christmas Trio is to read a book that has some sort of a plant on the cover. If I get bouquet, it has to be a flower on the cover. Again, this could be like the other one. If the title is The Flower Bride, that will work. If there's an actual flower on the cover, if maybe the author's name is Rose, well, a rose is a type of a flower, so that would work. So something like that. I hope that makes sense, but those are all of the prompts for winter. Let me know your thoughts on these. Do you have a favorite prompt that I've put out there for winter. I'm looking forward to getting to this board. I've already done my last board game for fall, and then the next TBR game that I play will be for winter. It will be on this new board. Let me know again what your favorite prompt is. Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I'll talk to you later.